We both know why you're watching this video. You must have seen this on my website, or and guess what? You found it on my YouTube. I do appreciate you being here, and I do appreciate you taking the time to hear what I have to say, right? I've never actually given an introduction of myself. You don't know anything about me. So let's talk about that. My name is James Altun. My middle name is Albert. It's kind of funny. My name, it's actually not really my name. My mom had me very young, and she is a immigrant, right? Well, not anymore technically, but technically, yeah. I'm not gonna think about that. I'm first generation, right? That means that I was born in this country, and my parents were not. And so whenever I was born, my mom was very young, and she was not been in the country very long, so her English was the best. And so the intention of my name was supposed to be Jaime Alberto Altun Salas. Unfortunately, I guess my name got lost in translation. I'm James Albert Altun. So I grew up in Myrtle Beach. I've born and raised my whole life. I actually still live in Myrtle Beach. Hopefully I'll be out of here when I'm done with my degree. But the thing is, I've lived here my whole life, and it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful place. I went to Myrtle Beach Primary Elementary School, and then I went to Palmetto Bays Elementary School, and then for middle school, I went to Ocean Bays Middle School. But right around this time, they were building a new middle school, which is called Ten Oaks Middle School. And so just due to the location of the school, it was rezoned out. Basically, half of the students at Ocean Bay got cut out, and they got sent to Ten Oaks Middle School, which is where I went. And so we get into the juicy, the nitty-gritty. High school. I was on a very good start to high school. I started high school level classes early on, so I was able to graduate early. But I did not actually do that. The thing was, my freshman year of high school, I was 14, turning 15. I had this really deep curiosity for learning, and I started taking an engineering course. And I remember I wouldn't pay attention in class once I kind of got the hang of CAD software. And CAD software, just to keep it short, an explanation on it, it's a 3D modeling application that allows you to model things on an engineering perspective, and you can see a whole lot of things that I'm not going to go into, like tensile strength, heat dissipation, or overall just components, measurability, and how well things can work together. And so the class was really fun. I kind of got bored of it though, because the assignments were really easy. So I actually started designing an engine. I was like, how do I design an engine on this? Now, in all fairness, 15-year-old me did not know anything about an engine that much. I knew it had pistons that went up and down. And so I made a crankshaft that was able to move pistons up and down. That's as far as it went. But the thing was, early on, I really knew that I had this curiosity for what was the automotive industry. I hadn't really been able to put a thought too much to it because, I mean, all I knew was I kind of liked it and I didn't know what it was. Soon enough, I learned about a school. It's called the Academy for Technology of Academics. It is also known as ATA. And so once I found out about it, I looked into the programs. When I was a freshman in high school, they didn't have as many programs as they have now. And I was looking through them, and one of them really caught my eye. Automotive. I had an automotive program. And I really didn't know much about the school. I really didn't know anything. But the thing was, it's a vocational school for high school, meaning that it was technical work along with classwork. And so I gave it a shot. I told myself, I want to go here and I need to go here. Because the thing is, I can give something a shot, and I mean, if I don't like it, I tried. And so because of that, it's a 2-year program that is your junior year and your senior year of school. So I was like, dang, I can't graduate early anymore, which kind of did suck in a way, but it worked out just fine because I played out my sophomore year in high school. I got a bunch of classes done, and technically I was still on track to graduate early, meaning that I didn't have to take extra classes. I just needed to take what I needed or wanted to take. And so I applied for ATA. Thankfully enough, I was accepted. I remember going for my orientation. I was really shy. There was the fellow classmen in the orientation that were all talking to the teacher and everything. I was kind of scared to go up and talk to the teacher because there was a lot of people around him. But I talked to him. His name is Joseph Gorseski. He is also called Mr. G. That's what we recognize him by. Mr. G is an amazing person. I don't think I'd be here without him because he's very wise, and he's also been a very big role model for me when it comes to choosing oneself in the longevity. And so when I applied and I got accepted, I started learning more, right? And we started off small. I mean, we started playing with Legos, we started doing quizzes, tests, and everything. And we were in the shop being the actual hands-on part of it. It was split. It was like a 50-50. So 50% textbook work, taking quizzes, and 50% hands-on. And I learned a lot there. I took apart brake systems. We learned how to machine brakes. We learned how to take apart engine components. We learned how to take apart suspension. We learned all different types of just equipment, all the actual hardware, how different it can be. And so that's actually part of why I care a lot about doing things right, because the thing is, it's for example, refrigerant. There's two very common types of refrigerant. There's R134A, R1234YF. And the thing is, you can't mix match these. You put one of them into a system that's designed for the other, and then you mess it up. But the thing is, there's a lot of technical knowledge that takes a long time for you to understand, and I'm not saying that people who are strictly hands-on can't learn that, but the thing is, learning something to a degree projects you a lot further than just doing it. And so thankfully enough, during these 2 years, I was able to get all 8 of my ASC certifications. So in every single field of the automotive industry, I am certified, whether it is electric, whether it is brakes, whether it is steering, whether it's suspension, whether it's actual engine teardowns, I am certified. I passed all of my exams, and I was able to show that I have that knowledge. So in the course of being at ATA, it was actually really fun. I took a piloting course, which was for ultimately getting the Part 107 license, which is something you should look up. Use your free will. I'm not gonna go into it, but I got my Part 107 license as a pilot, which I did use for a couple months as a commercial pilot for aerial photography for real estate. So if you ever need that, give me a call. But it's not something that I really broadcast. It's just something that I was like, hey, do you need this? You can pay me, I'll do it. Because, fun fact, you can't just fly a drone wherever you want. There's airspaces, and there's different airspace classifications. So living in Myrtle Beach, there's the Myrtle Beach International Airport, which is a Class C airspace. It's an upside down wedding cake, so obviously there's different bounds by it, and there's different rulings to it that I'm not gonna break down in airspace to you, but basically, the FAA could show up to your house when they be like, hey, you were flying something where you're not supposed to, so let's give you a really fat citation. But, right, I took classes for that, so I am a licensed pilot, which is kind of a nice little 2 truths, 1 lie to whip out. Be like, oh, I'm Mexican, oh, I'm automotive certified, I have a pilot's license. Those are all true. So let's continue on with ATA. My last year of high school was my senior year. Now, I didn't need to take any more classes because I was already gonna be graduating early. So the thing was, I was still in the automotive program, so I couldn't just graduate. So this last year was a lot more about technical knowledge, which we did a lot more electric work, we did a lot more textbook stuff, transmission, and so the thing is, I actually really liked it a lot. I do love working on electrical equipment. If you know anything about me, no you don't, I'm just like, I actually have installed sound systems on my vehicles. I have broken down all the inside and soldered in wires, crimped things in to make it look all beautiful. Because the thing is, electrical is one of the things you don't want to play around with unless you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't be surprised when you blow a fuse. But I'm not gonna go into that, right? But this senior year, it was an opportunity for a lot of people to get internships, and I kind of was having a hard time finding an internship. But my teacher was like, hey, it's like there's this guy that's looking for somebody to help him out with engine work, and like I can talk to him, try to get you the internship. And I was like, I mean, sure. I mean, I was like, I mean, whatever's cool, because like the big deal was you can go to the internship and not go to class. And so, like, not show up to the school as long as you were fulfilling what you needed to be. And so the thing was, it was only supposed to be the second semester, but I was approved to be able to do it the whole year. So I got into this shop. The shop is called Upchurch Performance. I think it was one of the best experiences that I've had. I was there for a little bit, I think closer to 2 years. I wasn't there for too long because they moved their shop to Florence. So I didn't go with them, of course, because they were here next to the house, which is like 15 minutes away. I mean, that drive is a lot easier than an hour and a half. But the thing was, Upchurch Performance is a shop that specializes in rebuilding performance engines. It was circle track based. If you don't know anything about racing, you could probably look into it. But it kind of took me a while to really get it. But there's pro late models, super late models, and there was another one. And these three fields were ones that we were working in. And so we were building engines for these circle track races, for very popular drivers, for different companies, of course. And my job was take apart the engine and get it ready to build. I never had a solo project of just building an engine myself, but I honestly don't blame him, because I mean, I was 17. Can't expect a teenager to be perfect with a very expensive engine. But I was able to do a lot of work. I was able to help out with rebuilding the engines. I would have liked to be able to do a little bit more, but I will say I learned a lot. I took apart these really finely tuned engines to a degree, and it was all meticulous, you know what I mean? Like, I had to learn how to be organized. I had to learn how to stay on schedule. I learned how to be really attentive to detail, because the thing is, like, it doesn't matter how the engine came. If it came blow up, or if it came with only 3 races on it, it's taken apart and put back together exactly how it was. If you know anything about components, you know, with pistons, with the piston rod, there's 2 bearings in there. And I mean, they all use the same bearing. And sometimes you can just throw whatever in there, but with these engines, my SD card ran out of storage. But what I was saying was, you couldn't just slap everything wherever and however. Everything was organized and everything had a structure. And so in this time that I was working at the shop, I learned a lot about my work ethic and the type of person that I would like to be. And the thing is, I love learning and I love reaching out for more. And so my plan was gonna be, I'll just get in a shop and I'll just keep working, and then I'll make my way up and eventually have enough money to do whatever I want. I didn't want to go to college. I said that everything was gonna be fine. I was always a hustler. When I was 15, I started my first little business. I was pressure washing driveways. I got the family truck, I threw my pressure washer on there, and I learned everything that I could. Did I have any like people to teach me anything? No, but I went on YouTube, I went on Reddit, I went on forums. I learned what other professionals are doing, and I did that. And the thing is, there's this phrase, fake it till you make it. And I think there's some validity behind that, because the thing is, if you really try something and you're not good at it, eventually you're gonna get good at it, you know? And it's like, if you water a plant every single day, eventually something's gonna happen. So I didn't want to go to college. I wasn't gonna do it. And my life was good. I mean, I was waking up at 5 a.m. I was going to the gym. I was going to school for half the day for the first semester, and then I'd leave. I'd go to work. I'd get out of work at a reasonable time, and then I was working all the time. I'd go to the gym before work. I had my time. I had my friends. I had everything. And the thing is, Mr. G, he would talk really highly of me. And I've never really been the most confident person up until my teenage years. I was always really insecure about myself, and I was really like kind of worried about who I am, what my purpose is, if I'm ever gonna succeed. And the thing is, I've always had a really strong drive, and people saw that in me, and Mr. G saw that in me, and he would talk highly of me. And if it wasn't for Mr. G, I wouldn't be in college. He pushed me to do it, and I'm not saying he pressured me to do it, but he showed me a light that there's a lot more to me than I see. And a college education is really big, you know? And the thing is, I do really like the technical aspect of being hands-on, but there's been another thing that I really liked, and it's computational knowledge. And so I started pursuing my computer science degree. I applied for 3 colleges, applied for College of Charleston, I applied for University of South Carolina, and I applied to Clemson. I was accepted for all 3, and so I didn't start going to college. I was gonna go to University of South Carolina, and then I realized this is scary, this is horrifying, and so I didn't go. I applied for Horry Georgetown Technical College. I was accepted, and so I did about a year and a half. I got 75 to, it was like in between 75 and 80 credits done. That's a lot of credits. I was taking 6 classes per semester, and I was taking summer classes, and I would try to take in like little Maymesters or like little gaps in there to try to get extra credits. And so I got to a point where it's like, hey, if I want my bachelor's degree, I need to go to a bigger institution. I need to transfer in. And so I was comparing my different options. I do live in Myrtle Beach, so Coastal Carolina is right here, but I just didn't want to go there. That's really all it was. And the thing is, College of Charleston is a beautiful campus. It's a beautiful, beautiful college. And I like how close it is to the beach. I love the beach. I mean, Coastal Carolina is also close to the beach, but I didn't want to go there. And then Clemson's really far. And University of South Carolina, I went for orientation. It just didn't really feel like my crowd. Like, I didn't feel like I belonged there. And obviously, like, the sense of belonging is something that everybody defines for themselves. But I was like, College of Charleston it is. And so I started pursuing my computer science degree at College of Charleston, and amazing decision. But then I made a realization. A computer science degree is a glorified math degree because there is a lot of thinking that goes on, you know? And so I talked to my counselor, Renee McCauley. Dr. McCauley, actually, has a PhD. I have a lot of respect for this woman. She is very intelligent, and she was able to guide me in a very good direction, which was towards a computer information systems degree. Now, this is more business oriented, and I did like this because it was a little bit more hands-on in the sense that a computer science degree is very theoretical, and a computer information degree is a little bit more practical. So the practice is applied heavier. And so the thing is, they're both computer oriented. It's just, which one do you pick? And obviously, I decided to pick the computer information systems degree. Now, I'm a junior technically, but due to my credits, I'm a senior, and I'm on the verge of graduating here in about 6 months. And I was out of high school 3 years ago. So far, I've gotten my associate's degree. I've gotten 8 AAC certifications. I have multiple certifications through different institutes like Data Camp, Coursera. I have cybersecurity certifications. I actually did take a bit of culinary classes because I was part of ATA, so I was able to get some certifications in the culinary world. And so I have my Part 107 license, you know. Now I'm about to stack my bachelor's degree onto that. And the thing is, I just turned 20 years old not too long ago. I'll be 21 in like 8 months. And the thing is, I still have my whole life ahead of me. So what's next? Who am I? I'm James Altun. I am Mexican and Guatemalan. My favorite color is red. It used to be green, but I was kind of mix and matching because it's like, I feel like some colors are really good for like outfits, but you can't throw that like in a room, like room decor. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, like, if you know anything about like fashion, you should also understand that like skin tone should be complemented with what colors you're wearing. Like if you're a dark skin tone, you should do really rich, saturated colors because it makes you pop out naturally, you know? But I'm not gonna go into fashion because this is not what the conversation is about. It's about who I am, you know? But yeah, I do speak Spanish. I'm fluent in it. I grew up speaking Spanish around my family. I wasn't actually allowed to talk English at the house, which is funny enough. I did take German in high school, which I actually, for some reason, still remember it, even though it was over 6 years ago. Ich liebe Deutschland! My close friend was Turkish. When I say was Turkish, I mean like he is Turkish, we just don't talk that much anymore. And I learned a lot of Turkish. I love the Turkish culture. I actually do plan on going to Istanbul either this year or next year, but I mean, wish me luck. But that goes into my next topic. How do I want to live my life? I care a lot about traveling, I care about freedom, and I care a lot about being happy, living a fulfilling life. And the thing is, something that I've really accepted of myself is my drive pushes me for more of it. My drive pushes me to want more and constantly seek out more. So if this happens, then I'm not really a person to settle for less or be comfortable with where I'm at. Because the thing is, I know I'm capable of more, and I know I can do more, and I know I will do more. It's only a matter of time before my words become a fulfillment of my actions, you know? No, it's only a matter of time before my actions are a fulfillment of my words. So that being said, I want to be happy and I want to do what I love. I love working on cars. I love working with computers. I would like to work for the Department of the Homeland Security under my computer information systems degree and become some sort of analyst, which would be really nice, and still do my side hustle, which is working on cars, cleaning on cars, because I like being productive. And so, in part of my being productive, what are my hobbies? I like running and I like weightlifting. I lift weights 6 times a week. I've been consistent about 450 days because I use an app. It used to be called Liftoff. No, it's called Liftoff. It used to be called something else. Bro something. But I use the app to track basically how consistent I've been, and I've been consistent for about that long and haven't noticed changes yet. I've been running for a couple months. I'm actually a pretty good runner. I didn't expect myself to be. I was poor about running when I was younger. I like having fun with like little sports like volleyball and soccer. I used to play indoor soccer all the time, but not anymore just because obviously don't have that much time because I'm still in school. So I do commute between Myrtle Beach and Charleston, and then fitting in clients, and then doing my homework, and doing my schoolwork, and then working on my business, because I actively do try to improve things regardless of how good they can be. So the thing is, how do I build a life that allows me to just be happy all the time? And ultimately, it's choosing myself, you know? And so, betting on yourself is one of the best things and worst things you can do, you know? Because it's like, I'm a really driven person. Let's say I need to run 10 miles next Sunday. I can bet $500 to somebody that I'm gonna run that, you know? And who am I betting on? I'm betting on myself. And betting on yourself ultimately means having utmost trust that you will fulfill. And I do think I will fulfill. So I will always bet on myself. And so in this process, I've created the business, right? I have a very strong goal for this business, which I will get there eventually. As of right now, it's step one, you know? Step one in my long process. But I am the person behind Get It Done. Get It Done started off as detailing services. I didn't really broadcast my mobile mechanic work as much because I figured detailing would be a little bit of an easier space to get into. And so over time, a lot of my friends, now that I've went to a vocational school for automotive, they know that I fix cars. And so I'd help people fix their cars. I'd help people with some maintenance. I'd help people with repairs. I do my own repairs. And so I was able to get a couple jobs here and there. I never really broadcasted it though. And so you can tell. Now, Get It Done is mainly mobile mechanic services because I spend a lot of money on tools. Oh my gosh. You know, if you ever get a hobby, try to learn financial restraint first, because you know what happens whenever you get a hobby, you keep on spending money on it. Like running, I want to get running shoes, new ones. I want to get a running shoe, I want to get a daily shoe. I want like a race shoe, a daily shoe, a training shoe, and a recovery shoe. Why do I need so many shoes? Don't do it. Learn financial restraint. I'm happy with my Asics. They're an amazing all-around shoe. But we're not talking about that. talking about my tools. So I got a lot of the tools. I've been able to gather a lot of equipment that I do use for my mobile mechanic services. So whatever it is, whether it's, diagnosis, maintenance, repairs, I'm able to do that for you. I have the experience, I have the knowledge, and I have the access to the tools to adequately serve you the way you need it. And I still do provide detailing. So whether it's like one day you want to leave your car at home, or you're home and you want me to swing by and do a full detail on your car, I'm able to do that. Now, I do have a business page on Instagram that does showcase my 2 packages for detailing, and it's an easy way to reach out to me and contact me about my business when it comes to any potential inquiries. And at the same time, I do have a website. I haven't bought the domain name yet, just because, I don't know what I want to call it. So as of right now, it says Webflow. I would love to link my Google business, but I got suspended for some reason. I think it's because I didn't add pictures yet, which is kind of dumb of me, but whatever. I already sent an appeal in, so it'll be up in no time. And so yeah, I have my business going. It gives me free time. It allows me to schedule things to myself. And I'm able to do something that really makes me happy. And it's documenting the process. It does get hard sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. This post that I'm making now, it's actually gonna get posted immediately after I record it. So as soon as I stop recording, I'm about to post this. And last week I posted a day late. I try to post vlogs every Monday. That's my schedule. And sometimes just my schedule becomes a little bit hard to deal with, a little bit hard to mitigate with. But the thing is, I'll learn. Time management is just something you just get good at overnight. You slowly improve. And I'll slowly improve it. But the thing is, you're with me for part of the process, you know? Now, you know my education, you know some of my hobbies, you know my favorite color. You don't know that much about me just yet. This is just like a little glimpse into my life. But you're with me part of this process. And I would personally really appreciate if you subscribed or gave me a like to this video. But the thing is, you see what my life is. When I commute to Charleston, when I work on a car, whenever I make a quick meal, whenever I'm spending time with friends, whenever I go on runs. All of this stuff is going to be stuff that I start incorporating into my vlogs slowly, a bit by bit, just at a manageable workload, because right now classes are a little hard. But you're part of this process. You're watching me grow up. You're growing up too. You could learn something from me, or you teach me something, you know? Maybe leave me a comment, maybe like, hey, I really liked your video, but I think you could do this better. Hey, I really like your idea, but maybe you could improve here. Or maybe, hey, thank you for being an example, you know? And it's like, I care a lot about being a positive impact on the world around me. And as of right now, I want to fulfill that, you know? And in the process of doing what I love, content creation, I think I'm able to be an open book with anybody who views me, anybody who sees me, and anybody who knows me, you know? I don't really make this private. I don't hide thoughts to myself. I'm a very open and honest person. And I think that says a lot about me, you know? And that's a little bit about who I am. Once again, my name is James. My friends call me James, so you can call me James. I am behind Get It Done, and I'm in the process of growing up. I'm in the process of still improving myself and learning more. And the thing is, it's gonna be a journey. We'll all like it. And also have my little friend here. His name is Coco. He's a boy. He's about 6. He's gonna be 6 years old in a couple months. His name is Coco. He's a little awkward though. It's funny though, cause you know how people say like, dogs look like their parents or whatever. I don't believe it. I don't think we look alike at all. But when I sleep sometimes, I sleep with my arms up and my legs extended out like on my back, and I'll wake up and he's doing the same pose next to me. He's like, I'll show a picture of it. But yeah,